the Hobo Chronicles.
Right now, I'm in my parking lot at home after a 2-hour drive back from my university, and tonight I'm driving up to Boone, which is about another 2 hours, in which I have no place to stay. So, I'm spending the night in my car, homeless. So, why not do a vlog?
Well, let's get started with our drive. So, I'll probably end up having a time-lapse video of me driving to Boone in the background, but I'll keep the audio so you guys can listen. It occurred to me that I haven't really gave much context into where I'm going, why I'm going, or what in the world Tweetsie Railroad is. If you haven't already, I posted a vlog a while back. It was, I believe, named I'm a Tarnation, but it pretty much explains a little bit more about what I will be doing this summer as my summer job. So I'll put a link in the video right up there. Oh, there it is. It just showed up. But, so you don't have to click on that video, I'm going to give you a little bit more information right now as we take our lovely journey to the mountains of Boone, North Carolina. So first, let me give you some background into why Tweetsie is built. Well, to the best of my knowledge, at least. So, Tweetsie Railroad is not a railroad station. It's not part of a railroad. It does have a railroad in it that does a train show, but that's completely separated. That has nothing to do with the original story. However, the locomotives, the train engines that they use, are part of history themselves. And it sort of goes a little bit like this. There was this train company called the ETWNC that began operation in 1882. And they had a railway that went from the East Tennessee and Western North Carolina that serviced from Johnson City, Tennessee to the iron mines at Cranberry, North Carolina. And it pretty much went back and forth carrying iron to and from the mines to Johnson City, where it would eventually meet up with the National Standard Gauge Rail Network. And from there, it would be shipped all around to wherever it pretty much needed to go. So in 1917, there was this engine that was named engine number 12, and it was built by this guy named Baldwin Locomotives that works out of Philadelphia. And for all those big, like, brainy, junky guys, it cost about $14,000, and it was one of the 13 narrow gauge engines built for the ET and WNC Railway. So that railway actually didn't go through Boone, which is where the theme park is that I'm headed now, Tweetsie Railroad. But in 1919, the tracks were extended, and that's when they actually made it to Boone. So the ET and WNC ended up extending the railway service to Boone, North Carolina, adding passengers and mail service and a bunch of this other stuff. And they had this big, huge ceremony at the time, which kind of commemorated the expanding of the track. Skip ahead multiple years, the engine number 190 was built, which is really, really cool because during World War II, engine 190 was built by Baldwin Locomotives, which was the same place that built the other trains for the railway. And it was used for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers on the White Passes of Yukon Railway, actually up in Alaska. Eventually, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on this, but that is one of the train engines that's actually used in the park today, which is super duper pretty snazzy if you ask me. So this is when we get to the actual historical part of Tweetsie Railroad. So skip ahead even more years, and July 4th, 1957, locomotive number 12, which I talked about earlier, which was built in 1917, makes its first run at the new Tweetsie Railroad attraction back in 1957. So they brought it up via cars and trucks, if I remember correctly, but it started to make a 1-mile journey around the mountain, just carrying passengers to a picnic area, and then backing up to eventually bringing them back to the station. So it wasn't much, but it was something, and especially if you're someone who's never ridden a train, especially a steam-powered train, it's really amazing the amount of work and coal and water and everything that goes inside of it just to make it run. The next year, in 1958, is where I come in, kind of. Obviously, I wasn't alive at that time. But that's when they started to bring the theme in of the Wild West. An authentic Western town was then added to Tweetsie Railroad, and the park adopted the Wild West theme overall, while the track was expanded to create a 3-mile loop instead of just a regular 1-mile loop. And there's these really, really cool pictures, I may put a couple up, that show like the original route and the original train cars and what kind of the Hollywood Strip looks like back then. So there's a whole lot more that I could add. There's a huge amount of history that goes with Tweetsie Railroad, but I will just stop here and let the rest of the video kind of carry itself. For the most part though, what you need to know is that Tweetsie Railroad is this great historical landmark in Boone, North Carolina. It's where I'm working this summer as part of the Wild West Train Show, and if any of you are in the area, you should totally come up, see me, and watch the show. It's really, really cool. We use real guns with blanks in them. There's a good amount of choreography and special effects. It's really a great place to be. Definitely worth the 2-hour drive up and then the time that I spend there and work there. But for now, let us carry on with our wonderful drive through the rain to Boone, North Carolina.
Made it to my final destination, or at least the destination that I'll be spending the night in. If you want to take a look outside, that's what you're looking at, and that's up that direction. And if you want to look that way, you get a couple more lights behind you. Not much at all. So I am really in the middle of the wilderness, and if you listen, you can actually kind of hear the frogs croak and the crickets and everything like that. It sounds really pretty, also kind of creepy, but I'm looking forward to spending the night here and finally figuring out what it's like to spend the night in my car. It doesn't sound like something that is so interesting or so thought-provoking, but to me, something I really always have... Sorry, I feel like I'm doing something evil and against the law, which, you know, I probably am. But besides that, so spending the night in your car doesn't seem like something that everyone wants to do, but it's something that I've really wanted to do for a while, so I'm excited that I finally get to figure it out. Whether that entails me freezing to death, or whether that entails me actually having a pretty good time and a good night, we will see, and so are you in the next couple minutes. So, stay tuned. The light on my camera is super duper bright. So I've settled in a little bit more. I kind of got my car arranged to the way that I think I'm going to spend the night in it. So I thought that we would make this a beautiful segment of show you my crib. All right, so first, let's come on. We'll go to the bedroom. Come on, yeah, here we go. This is my king-sized... Oh, is there some change down there? There may be some change. I have so much money, I keep it in my bed. But here's gonna be my bed for tonight. The back seat, I got 2 sleeping bags. Well, 1 sleeping bag and a blanket. I probably won't need it because honestly, I had to take my jacket off because it's hot. It's so hot in this car already. When I do spend the night, I'm not gonna leave the engine on because, you know, I don't want to die of carbon dioxide, monoxide poisoning. One of those. I just don't want to die. So I packed some extra blankets to make sure that I stay warm without the heat being on. In my front seat, I got my book bag, my clothes for tomorrow morning, some paper towels, some medicine. Most of this I'm not actually going to use tonight, so don't you freak the crap out. I'm over prepared because my mom cares about me, okay? Okay? Did we say it? It's over now? And cool. And then we got the driver's seat and my shoes down there on the floor. But that's pretty much my crib. I mean, it's not, jeez, it's not too bad. It gets the job done. But honestly, I'm really, really roomy and really, really comfortable, and more so than I thought that I would be. I kind of expected there to be more of this, like, I really don't want to sleep here feel to it. But honestly, I'm really ready to go to sleep. I'm tired. You know that feeling that you get like after you drive a really long time and you're just tired even though you didn't do anything? That's how I feel. Drove about 4 hours today, which isn't long, but enough that I kind of have that driver exhaustion. So I'm gonna get ready for bed and I will see you guys soon. So stay tuned. I think there's definitely gonna be more before the end of the night. Oh, see you then. problem. I was settling into bed, getting ready to do my goodnight prayers and goodnight wishes, and it suddenly occurred to me that I have to pee. Now, I get the whole sense of like, well, I'm a guy, I can pee anywhere, but I mean, I never really thought about this ahead of time, but the drink that I had on the way up here has definitely made it to the end of its journey, so I guess we're gonna go on an adventure and find a spot to pee. So let me get some warm clothes on, and I will see you guys once I'm dressed. Alright, so I got my jacket, shoes, and everything on, and I'm ready to brave the wilderness. Let's go ahead and do this. I don't know why I'm worried, but honestly, there's something inside of me that's just like, this is a bad idea. But we're gonna flip and do it anyway. So here we go. I'm gonna leave my door cracked so I don't end up locking myself out, because that would not be something I would look forward to. So I don't know if you guys can see anything, but I can definitely hear the frogs croaking, which, like I said, sounds really, really pretty. But the fact that I can't see anything worries me to death, and I mean, neither can you, so I'm just gonna flip the camera around and let you guys see me. So really, what I'm here to do is not that difficult. All I need to do is freaking pee. So I found me a sweet looking tree right here. Let me get right up there so you can see. There's this tree. There's a little like lake back there, which is pretty cool too. But I'm gonna take me a pee right here. Give me a minute. I need my privacy, please. All right, so something really, really weird just happened. I'm gonna start heading back to my car. I was taking my pee, like we said, and all of a sudden, just all the frogs stopped croaking. And like I said, they're super duper loud. So it was very, very obvious. I don't know if they stopped for a reason. It wasn't because of me, because I had already been there before they stopped, but it's kind of unsettling. So I'm gonna go back to my car. I'm gonna get inside and hopefully actually settle down to the night. I wouldn't say things are getting strange, but they're definitely not happy-go-lucky like I would want them to be. Alright, well, I feel a little bit safer. Not the best. I mean, after all, I'm in a car, not in a house. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so there's a little bit of danger to it, but nothing that I cannot handle. Honestly, scariest animals that ever exist have been humans, and they are still humans for all I care. So awesome. Well, I've got snot running down my nose. It's cold out there. It's not as cold as I thought it would be, though. But I'll probably have one more video in which I'll say goodnight. So stay tuned, and we'll get to the last video. Alright, so I'm tucked in. I'm cozy. I was wrong. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but definitely something that I can just sleep through. The frogs haven't started croaking again, which is weird, but I mean, I believe they'll start up. It's only been probably about 10-15 minutes. But I think I'll turn in for the night and wish you guys a good night and sweet dreams. I really gotta say though, one thing that I do like, and that's also kind of weird too, but the wind is picking up a lot. And you can hear it beating against the side of the... Did you guys hear that? It was just all of a sudden the wind stopped, and there's this like scratch. There's this like scratching noise in the windows. Sorry, there's a light flickering up there on the hill. I've watched some horror movies in my time. Nothing that I've really been scared of. I've always kind of encouraged the horror movies because I like getting scared, but definitely some creepy stuff. But I'm just gonna sleep it off and hope that tomorrow is a better day. But as for you guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the morning, and wish me the same as I wish you a good night and sweet dreams. I'll talk to you guys later. So it actually got really cold in this car really quickly. So I'll most likely have to be using my blanket here as well as my sleeping bag. And I may actually have to put on multiple layers of clothes. The wind has picked back up, which is a good sign. The frogs, not so much. They're still quiet, but I just thought, just to make sure, I am going to lock the doors. Wow, what a smart idea, Noah. You should have thought about that at the beginning of this, shouldn't you? There we go. Now I'm safe. And look, I even got a little red light that blinks to make sure that I'm safe. It's not a security thing, but it's just a red light. But I think I found which position I'm going to be sleeping in tonight. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you guys in the morning and starting a brand new day. But I know I've said this once, if not 1,000 times. Ugh, excuse me. Thank you so much. Jeez, I'm trying to get a good camera angle, I promise. Thank you so much for watching and experiencing this with me. There definitely will be more to come because I do want to sleep, if I survive, in my car more than once. It's an experience that I know I'm going to love. You guys should try it too. Of course, be smart and safe about it. But until tomorrow, good night, sweet dreams, and I'll see you then.